o'clock, March 11th, 2025, call meeting to order. First order of business is electing the chair and vice chair for ensuing meeting.
Make a motion for the chair is unused.
Second. Moved and seconded. Anything further? All those in favor? 301.
Go ahead. Make a motion for vice chair is,
Should be 3-1-1, right? 3 in favor, 1 absent, and 1 abstaining.
okay, here's Jim Smith.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? And that's also 3-1. Item number 1 is the minutes of February 25.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of February 25, 2025 board meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Warrants and financials.
Make a motion to sign the warrants and financials.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Department heads. Marty?
I started grading roads today and been working on the trucks, washing them up, greasing them, tinkering up the plows. Got 2 culverts that was froze, we got one undone, and the other one still got about 3 feet that's froze, but should be able to get that tomorrow. We got both ends freed up, so. I went up and checked North Village Fire Station door yard up there, and that's a little bit soupy, but it don't help. We got someone that's trying to make a mud run up there, so. Because I rock raked it before I went to Holloway today, and when I went out of town about 5, there was a truck had been going right back and forth out there, so that's the second time it's happened. I dug a ditch to drain the water so it ain't running right down in there to create mud, and I'll go back up tomorrow and move some snow so the water can drain off, and then it should be drying up, so. Other than that, I guess everything's going okay.
Where's the culvert from?
Mayhew Road and Quincy Woods Road. The Quincy Woods Road we got freed up, the Mayhew Road is not freed up all the way through yet, still about 3 feet in the center we haven't got thought of. The burning motor or something's going on a pressure washer, so all we have is just regular cool water. We can't heat it up or nothing, so we took the 3-inch pump today and pumped it from one side and stuffed it up in the culvert and chewed away at that till we could see the culvert, and then we stuck it in the upper side and got it into the center. So that the wallman can at least get into it now. And we put some calcium in it, so that should help eat a hole through it if we can get a trickle. Other than that, I guess it's up, everything's okay.
Any other questions?
With those trucks down this time, Mark?
No, everything's got to go in there.
Chief?
Still waiting. I talked to IPS today about that bill that we have for our flow testing and stuff that we annually have done about the service contract agreement. John from IPS said he was going to look in it today. So I'm still holding on to a bill that's $1,700, $1,795, it's almost $1,800 bill. So I'm going to hold on to that for a while longer until I hear back from him. Right now, the February bills that's come in, I think some of them already been paid out, but a total between heat and all our respiratory questionnaire evaluations and physicals, I'm at a total right now for February for $1,409.02. $1,400.09. Other than that, I did receive a phone call from Maine Forest Service. We did get awarded our forestry grant. For some reason, the letter hasn't made it to me. I've been wondering about it, so I called them up, and I think that grant was $3,800 and something, and it was for like more forestry hose, some hard hats, a lot of couplings and fittings. We tend to go through a lot in between fire departments. They tend to get lost, so I would asked for some of those, and we got awarded everything, so that's a good thing. Also on the, up to the news station, I guess Bob's Cash Fuel was out there. They had the code guy for them to look at all their new placement of tanks and stuff. And I guess our pylons that are set to that tank are like 3 inches on the platform for the tank, and it should be more like 12 inches. So talking to Chuck from Bob, he's like, before we do any paving or anything like that, they're gonna have to be moved out before we pave that.
12 feet,
12 inches.
12 inches.
At the meeting last night, they also brought up, I know, back a while back when Tammy was still here and the folks at the fire department, they wanted to possibly put a tree up there to decorate every year instead of trying to put one that was donated every year, put it down. Designate a spot to plant a tree there that was gonna be donated. Kind of get that figured out. I told them I'd mention it to you guys tonight, so it would be in everybody's thought process. Otherwise than that, been down here, worked with Nancy as much as I could after the town meeting. I'm sure we're gonna go into detail on that later on. Also, I'm gonna bring up that I had, at the meeting last night, I had a disciplinary action that I did, and I had the firefighter sign it. She wanted a copy of it today, and I had put a paragraph up at the top to further in detail what the disciplinary action was. My bad, I probably shouldn't have put it up there after she signed it. So on and so forth. I want to correct it and go from there. If I have to, in front of everybody, I'll fill out another one and have her sign it to make it right. It was not my intentions to make it vicious or intent of any other thing else. It's my mistake.
Is that it?
That is it.
Any questions? So we have appointments. KDRWC board, which is recycling, is myself and Larry McHugh. KD General Assembly is Sharon Mellows. First Pack General Assembly is Sharon Mellows. Planning board, Ron Richardson, Stephen Everett, Deborah Henry, Janice Miller. Appeals board is Mark Campbell and Gary Anderson, and there's vacant positions there. Advisory board, Dan Savage, Janice Miller, Tom Poirier, Rebecca Hill. And Channel 11 is Jim Smith. There's a motion to appoint all of those.
Make a motion to accept the appointments as read.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 0. We have some board policies that we do every year. One is issue checks with only 2 signatures for payroll and state funds. And the other one is to require the tax collector and treasurer to apply tax payments to the oldest outstanding tax first.
We have to make a motion. Make a motion to accept the board policies as read.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? 0. Selectmen concerns?
Mr. Chairman, before you go to selectmen
Oh, I didn't
concerns,
go to you.
yes, I just had a couple of things. One is corrected municipal quitclaim deed without covenants. I did not realize that Evangeline Richardson had passed away last October, and she does have a personal representative. They are looking to sell the property at 12 Finch Street. They have a closing on Friday, and I would like you to sign a corrected deed. You had signed one to Evangeline, but the title company won't accept it because she's passed. And so I've prepared a new one to release to David Richardson and Donna Poulin, co-personal representatives of the estate of Evangeline Richardson. So if you wouldn't mind approving this and signing it, I'd greatly appreciate it.
We need a motion.
You should.
Make a motion to sign the quick claim deed.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion?
Oh.
All those in favor? 4-0.
Oh.
What else you got?
I had communicated with Bob Duplessis from RJD Appraisal regarding doing the commitment prior to June 30th, which was the last day of their employment with the town. And he wanted to let me know that he has hired on another full-time individual and felt as though he could keep a couple of his towns as a result, and Anson was one of them. So he did ask if you would consider rescinding his letter of resignation and keeping them on as Anson's assessor's agent, at least for the ensuing year. And there is no increase in fees. It's going to go for the same price if you are renewing it.
Make a motion to keep the current assessor.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0.
That was it for me.
Okay, so the majority of the people at town meeting voted to cut $150,000 out of the fire department budget. We have worked on how to do that. We'll go down through the cuts that we made. The fire chief salary we cut in half. All other, the deputy chief salary and the other stipends will be 0. The full-time firefighters will be cut to 40 hours a week. Wages for the call firemen will be dropped from $19 to minimum wage. Call hours, training hours will be evaluated as we go. A lot of the things are just cut from that. Dues, meals, uniforms are cut, program costs, office supplies, cleaning, cut to 0. Some of the stuff we had paid for in the last, because of the January, February, and part of March, some bills have already come in and been paid. So those have to be, parts of those budgets have to be left on. We cut the building maintenance. Pretty much everything, we have cut down some things, like I said, we had to pay what the bills that came in. We're putting in a policy that anything that is bought through the fire department comes to the board first and gets okayed. And by doing that, the things that I mentioned, we cut $150,000 out of the fire department. We need a motion to accept this.
Make a motion to accept the revised
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Any other selectmen concerns? Public session?
I've got a couple questions.
Yep.
One, I still didn't get an answer to the question I had at town meeting on the reason for the hydrant being way over last year. It was over, I don't remember exactly, I want to say 28, 30,000.
He's gonna put right there.
It's page 16.
Yeah, we didn't get into that.
No, I just said nobody knew, and I just,
And I haven't, we haven't had a chance to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
and the other question,
Before he moves on, can I answer something for that? I called the superintendent of Madison today, Anson Madison Water District, and he explained to me that all three towns, Madison, Anson, and Emden, have to pay 30% of their budget for the rental hydrants. And so he was gonna look into how much each town is actually paying. Not one town is paying 30% of their budget. It's the three towns are paying it. And he thought that it was because how many people that they have in Emden versus how many people we have, or how many hydrants or whatever. So he's gonna look into that for us.
All right.
I asked him about how many hydrants are out of service, and he said he only knew of one, but he will look into that too.
Is there a way to check the hydrants without?
not in the wintertime.
No.
Not,
Nothing we can do.
not reasonably. It's one of them hit or miss. When you go to use it, either it's gonna work or it's not.
There's no way we could go around and check the hydrants.
No, they check them in the spring and in the fall when they flush them.
Okay.
And I believe that one that's out of service has a broken flange,
All right.
but I can't.
Usually they bag them though, right? When they're out of
It's
service?
been bagged, or
Okay.
it was.
Where is that one?
You know where Dickie Peters lives?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right in that area. And when I said there was two, I screwed up because the other one is in Madison.
Oh,
We were digging for them and it got put out of service.
okay.
And I just hydrant.
But if there's a hydrant, you guys know it, let us know, so we
But don't
can
knock.
let them know.
The superintendent's supposed to either let the town or the fire chief know from now on.
Now let us know so we can make sure, because we can hold their payment. We've done it before.
Usually they call me when something is wrong, and I've only gotten one phone call, and that was back like 6 to 8 months ago, and then they said it was resolved, so.
Yeah, you guys are out there, I mean, I drive by a few hydrants.
And even when we have a fire in town, they usually call me, they ask which hydrants we use. Knock on wood, I don't wanna jinx us, but we haven't had any great episodes. I don't wanna say fires. Yeah, exactly.
So you have something else there?
Yeah, could I get a breakdown of the fire department, the way you just read it?
Yep.
And the financials, so I can see where we're at now.
Well, I don't know how far up to date we are on.
That's fine, I understand it, how it works, I just get one every so often, so I can keep an eye on.
Yeah, we're gonna have monthly looking at and quarterly, except for last November and December. We're gonna start, we gotta do that separate, we gotta take care of it, because, you guys stopped getting paid at the end of October or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So, November and December last year hasn't been paid yet, we're talking to the auditors to see how we're going to do that out of last year's, try to do it out of last year's stuff. And then we're gonna do quarterly, and you're gonna get paid quarterly.
Right, so
So we can keep a better track of that. Right?
And it makes it a lot easier bill-wise too, to know where we're at, so.
Yeah, when you get to December, it's a year's worth of people's time and what they did, and it's sort of, hard to keep track of.
But on the other hand, the computer at the station has it right down to the penny,
Yeah,
what it is. It's not a surprise
Right. But I think quarterly.
on payroll.
Right,
Right.
We'll keep track of it,
that's fine.
And a lot of it lately has just been like typo errors that I talked to Jeremy yesterday in the office on. I had to have him go in and fix a few things. So, I mean, there was one call, word detail, never even made it in the box down at the south station for Jeremy to put in. And Carrie had filled it out, and that wasn't even in there. And then I had a couple sheets that was in the MEFAS program, but there was no documentation that it actually happened. And I know I talked with Nancy at the time, sometimes auditors, if something gets really audited and they want to know more about on that entity, they're gonna want to see why I didn't have that documentation if somebody got paid for it, so.
Is there anything else?
I'll look at those alone.
Yes, sir.
My name's Matthew Rice, I want to read proposals for IT services.
I'm reading like everything.
So I understand there's a grant opportunity here, which is pretty unique. And I think it would be really good for the town.
And this is the IT piece, right?
Is this the same grant that we heard about?
Yeah, same thing.
So usually for Sharon's file.
Do you have another one?
No.
That's all I got, but I can draw it all.
Nancy, you want this one?
We'll make them.
No, he was talking about for Sharon.
Yeah, you can have the copy.
Real briefly, there's two components to my proposal. One is a hardware component where we'll replace network infrastructure at all 4 town locations. The second component is the monthly service fee to manage your infrastructure. So that includes your help desk services, it includes on-site services, help patching, monitoring the systems. And any questions or concerns you get with IT, you have a dedicated account manager you can reach out to. I had a meeting with Brian, who was here discussing the grant. And I provided him a copy of the proposal, so he's gonna look at that. There's some other components to it too, like website can be included with that through the grant. And then meeting recordings, where it's kind of an automated piece where you can record your selectmen's meetings and it automatically uploads it to your website. So it ties it all together. It's a pretty neat system, and I think the grant is a great opportunity for the town to take advantage of that with very little cost to the taxpayers. So what I would suggest is, take a look at the proposal I provided. I provided some information on my company too. We currently have over 20 towns that we service in the state of Maine. I have 21 people that work for me. 24/7 help desk support, emergency support after hours. Like I said, I think Brian will come back with, kind of tie it together with what the grant would cover, and you can kind of see what your annual cost would be. It looks like they cover 100% the first year, and then it draws down year 2 and year 3. But by year 4, you should be able to budget for your IT costs and have a pretty good idea where you are.
Sounds good, we'll let you know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And speaking of website, I almost forgot. Madison has put together a website for us, and we had figured out it costing about $7,500. She would like $1,000 stipend and $1.50 an hour to be the webmaster, to keep it going.
So it's really like $1,000 bonus for development?
Yes,
And then, what'd you say per hour?
$1.50 an hour to keep it, to be the webmaster.
To maintain.
Maintain it. So if that's acceptable, we have a motion.
Make a motion to accept the website.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any
That'll
further
show up
discussion?
tomorrow for the May
All those in favor? As far as I know, everybody, you all set? Motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?